You guys, welcome to our live stream. We are here to introduce my dear friend, Victoria Franco. I am going to girl out for a minute and be like, we've been knowing each other since high school and we played sports together and we just all the things. And I love Victoria, and we played sports together, yes, through high school. We grew up in the same hometown, and that was fun. And yes, we were connected, but I have to say I feel the most connected to her now than I ever have in my entire life. And I love that because now at this point, welcoming her onto the Hearts Unleashed team to be a Hearts Unleashed book club host and also a Hearts Unleashed support coach. So for our one-on-one coaching, we've got the Time to Shine program, Velocity, Unleashed, and Fluidity. She is in Fluidity. She is doing also Velocity. She's also doing accomplishment coaching. So before I just go absolutely off the rails, I want to kind of turn it over to you, Vic. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So happy to have you.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is definitely, it sounds ridiculous, but like a dream come true. I remember, yeah, we went to high school together. We also went to St. John together too, so you can't forget grade school.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sometimes I black out my brain. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, so I too feel the most connected to you now. You know, we did play sports together. We're just a year apart, so always looked up to you as like a leader and all of that, which is funny reading your books. I'm like, I remember that,
Yes.
all the things, but then like to know like what was actually going on like inside of you. So it was very interesting. So yeah, I think I joked about working with you like, I don't know, maybe like over a year ago. And I was like, I'm going to make it to the podcast one day. That's when I'll know I'm successful in life.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just been fun and been like an absolute blessing to follow you and your work. And then to now be on board working side by side with you and the other amazing ladies that are part of the team. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for the way that you've connected to the work, right? You guys, so a little bit more background in history, and thank you for saying we went to grade school together. Yes. Like it's amazing how far back we do go to, because like when I think about working with you, I know where you come from. I know your heart, and the people that are on the Hearts Unleashed team, it's after years of connection that they end up, I believe in what you're doing and I want to do that too, because I love saying like our company, our courses, our books. I know that I write them, but like I couldn't ever get them out alone, right? And it's just so important to know that to work with people who you don't just like put out an application and someone fills it out. It's like it is a very soul-based connection and a soul commitment to that work. And so you're starting to do that work, and you've been doing that work with Hearts Unleashed since the very first book club back in January 2018. And I love that as part of like your story, because not only this book club and its intentions and commitments and impact, you have been in it multiple times, and you've also gotten to witness other people's transformation as well. So tell us a little bit about your experience of the Hearts Unleashed book club.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it in my bio that came out this past Sunday, but in the beginning, I think I'm just the type of person that like likes to support people. So it's like, oh, Abby's doing this cool thing. And so when I saw the book club, I was like, okay, like I'll join. I signed up, and it was just so amazing. I saw the transformation within the little community of women that we were. I think there was, I don't know, maybe 6 of us. And yeah, it was just absolutely like transforming, and just such a beautiful community, a beautiful space to be with like-minded women who relate to the book. Maybe we didn't all relate to every aspect of the book, but it was amazing. And then after that, I think just this past year, I decided to do another one because it had been a while. So I did. I think it was the middle of the pandemic. So I'm like, oh, let's do it. So I did. And what was beautiful about it was that I was in the transition that you were going through in the book. So I feel like I related more to it this time around because I was there, or like going there, or had been there. So that was really fun. And then of course you had the first co-ed one. So I was like 100% need to be a part of the first co-ed one. So yeah, and just even, you did the creating calm calls. during the pandemic. And even from there, week to week to week, just the transformation of people and like where they were. It was like literally from week to week, from a group call of, sometimes 8 people, sometimes a few, but to see like where they were going and how much they were getting out of just having to break up an hour time, 50 without the, meditation. And just in a couple minutes, whatever you had to say to them, whatever they were able to get out, it's just amazing. And I just was like, I love this. Like my heart loves this so much.
So tell us, where did that lead you?
Yeah, so that led me to being like, all right, I do enough of Abigail's free stuff. So what would life coaching be with her on an individual thing? I see the transformation within a group coach setting. Like, what would an hour session one-on-one be like? So that first call, just to even set up a call, I think I like voice messaged you, was like, hey, we want to do one-on-one coaching, or I texted you, whatever it was. And then we like talked just to set up something. And you asked me, like, why, why did you want coaching? And one, it was like credibility, because if I'm going to recommend coaching to people, I want to be like, yes, I too have been through coaching and I see the benefits, and not just recommending something I have no idea what it's about. And then in that first call, I told you, I'm like, I'm kind of interested in maybe becoming a coach. And I don't know if you remember what you said to me.
Remind me, because I can't imagine right at the moment.
I think it was like a yes.
Okay, good, because I don't want to be wrong, but like, because I literally, I knew, like, the one thing I knew is I wanted you on the team, and for you to tell me I want to be on the team in a coach capacity was like, I don't have to convince her. She's done. She's in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think just like hearing you be like, yes, and then you could be in a team and this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'm not even like a coach yet. It's just like this little tiny idea. And you were like, yes, here's the plan. Here's what we'll do. And so it was just, I think, like that faith that you had in me, or how much like you believed in me, or like knew my heart to be like, yes, this aligns with Hearts Unleashed, was just that little extra sprinkle of possibility, like I mentioned, which it was like, she's a coach, she's doing it, like this is her work, this is her jam, like, and she sees something in me too, which was just kind of led me into like, okay, what do I do? What coaching program, do I go through? She went through AC, like, do I do AC? Like, it's in San Diego, like all the things, there's a lot of barriers. And then it was just like doing it.
Yep. And now you are in month 5. You just finished month 4, right? Or you're in month 4 of a 12-month training program. And so tell us about that. So accomplishment coaching is actually the same coaching program that I went through. It's the same one that Coach Marcy, our other support coach, has gone through. And it is the coaching program that not I expect my coaches to go through, but if they've gone through it, I know the training they've gotten, and it makes me, Victoria can coach any of my clients, like, or someone can come through the pipeline and say, I need a coach, and I might not be the one for them, but Coach Vic might be. And I just think it's brilliant, because I know exactly what she's experiencing, what you're going through. And so share a little bit about that experience, because, well, I want to slow down a little bit. I'm really excited. And so, I was so grateful when you did say you wanted to be a coach, because you have a heart for others. You have a servant heart. You honor God's will. You honor your intuition. You listen and follow guidance. And you've also worked yourself through any resistance to that, or any fears about what that means, or whatever that looks like, because we all have that. And I'm so inspired, and I'm so grateful about that, because I know that there are so many people not following their intuition, or too afraid, or have too many reasons or excuses or circumstances that won't permit them to do that. And so what would you love to like share about that perspective? Because I think there's a lot of people in the world who might be served by it.
Yeah, so I think for me, I had always known, like, I'm on this earth to serve God and his people. Like, always known it, just didn't know which route. I served in the military, which was an amazing experience, and I still am, just in a different capacity now. But I knew that I was meant to serve people more like one-on-one or in a different way, a more personal way. Like I didn't want to be behind a desk in a little cubby. Like I needed to be with people. And so yeah, I think, and while that looked like career change for me, and I'm going back to school for social work, so it does look very different. I don't expect or think that that is for everyone, but I definitely think that we like, it's like everyone can live their full life. So maybe that doesn't mean leaving your job or leaving your circumstances, but it's coming to them in a different way, like showing up to work in a different light. So that way you can find your work enjoyable. Like maybe it wasn't your dream job, and that's okay. Like you can still enjoy it. You can still live a happy life where you're coming home and excited to be there and not letting, like you said, the circumstances, the barriers, the fears like keep you in this place or in this rut. Like transformation isn't just for a certain few people. Like living a beautiful life isn't just for, the lucky ones. It's literally everyone can have it, and it looks differently for everyone. Like, and that's okay. Like whatever you want your life to be, you can create that and you can make it happen. So
You sound like a coach or something.
oh, because I love it so much.
Yes. So yes. And so tell us what you have gotten out of, specifically out of your coaching with accomplishment coaching, and where this is like leading you and guiding you.
Yeah, so through accomplishment coaching, it's just kind of opened my eyes to like just the whole nother level of stuff. And I think just in general, being around like-minded people, like I'll go back to the Hawaii, like when we had that conversation with you, and I was just like, we're like, our hearts are aligned, like we're talking about the same stuff. Like I want to be a part of these conversations every day because that is me. It's like, no, like how are you really doing? Like if you're gonna
Yes.
talk to me, like we're talking, like we're gonna get into the feels, we're gonna get into the emotions. Like it's not surface level, hey, how's life? Like, no, I really want to know. So but with, through the program, it's just kind of really made me realize like how I operate and how the possibility, literally that's like the biggest thing, is like the possibilities of what my life can be. And pretty much just breaking down everything that's stopping me from getting there, and then the tools that we get and like the leadership and just the whole entire experience. It's like it gets into the nitty gritty, and it gets emotional, and gets into that mushy gushy stuff of like, oh, I don't want to do this. But at the end of it, it's like so powerful. And after those weekends, we're drained. It's exhausting, but
Yes.
it's like, oh, a relief of just like, it's like a rejuvenation. It's just like slowly making you feel you have less weight on your shoulders because you're just breaking down the barriers. And it's a process, but a beautiful one nonetheless. So yeah, that's
Yes.
kind of what I'm getting out of it. And it's like it's been, it'll be week 5. And it's like, oh, I got like, I'm almost there. Like, it's like I don't want it to end already. And it's like I still got 7 months, like or 8
I know
months,
that
whatever it
feeling.
is.
Yeah, it flies by, and it's just, yeah, it absolutely flies by. And you said something that was really profound, because when I heard you explaining accomplishment coaching, I also was hearing exactly what women and men get out of the Hearts Unleashed book club,
Hmm.
right? That conversation that isn't being had. Now, accomplishment coaching is built and meant for people who want to be coaches. It's a coach training program, but I would even say that the Hearts Unleashed book club is exactly what you were saying. We go into the nitty gritty, we feel the feels, we have the conversations that aren't being had, we learn how to have those conversations in our real life, like, and to just rediscover who we are, and then take it in and do something with it, or choose to be at choice about it. And so you've seen that, and it's not exactly meant for people to become coaches. Some people have become coaches out of it, out of what they've discovered in the Hearts Unleashed book club. But some people end relationships, start a passion project, just begin to speak up about themselves, rediscover themselves. And so what would you say is some of your commitments and intentions in being a book club host?
I think one of the biggest things for me, that I feel super passionate about is like giving everybody a safe space. Like
Mm.
this is an hour of your time each week for 6 weeks to just come as yourself because you're perfectly you. There's nothing to be fixed here, but just to be able to be in a group of people who are there to support you. And it lasts so much longer than the 6 weeks. With it, there's a Facebook group for just the people who are a part of the book club. And yeah, you can come as yourself. You can be vulnerable, you can cry, like we'll cry with you, like you'll be cheered on, like just whatever you feel like you can't do maybe in your regular life, or you don't have that time or haven't allowed yourself the space to do it, like this is what that is. And it'll help you to like discover yourself and to bring this however you show up in these book club calls, like you can be like that in life, and it'll be beautiful and people will love you because they already do. So
Yes.
yeah, I think that's like the biggest part, is like the community of it. And yeah, it's like you have to be there to experience it or something. Like I can talk about it all day long, and it's just like, oh, but you have to be there to feel it and take it all in. And just the value that I think it had been like something I've never experienced before. Yeah, and it's just like this small intimate group of people who relate, and some, if they don't relate to it, they can relate in some other way. So it's not necessarily the coach who's running it, it's about you guys and the ladies who are in it to be able to bounce ideas off each other or relate in some way, because you're not alone in life, you're definitely not alone in this book club.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. And you're right, is you just have to be there. You just have to join. So y'all, you just have to join. And I do want to say something very important, because we are on, Victoria is number 23. I feel like, I don't know why every time I say that she's the 23rd book club, I think of Michael Jordan, and like Victoria, I could just see her, like we played basketball together, but this is the 23rd book club, which means 22 other rounds of humans. And sometimes we've had 3 people in the club, sometimes it's been like 8 and 9 and 10. Like we really kept out some of these groups. And that many people have had this conversation, have just showed up and been there. And I love what you said about, maybe in your in your life you don't create the time or the space to have this, and this is a beautiful place and space to do that. And I love what you were just sharing about your commitment to it being a safe space and having that community aspect, because it's like the huddle, and then you take what you've practiced or what the conversation back into your life. It's not an on and an off switch, it's that you get to take this on in your life and transform it. And so I just want to start to wrap up by saying thank you for what you're bringing. And you guys, I want to encourage you. So what's really important is Victoria is group number 23, and she's going to be hosting Giving Up, the Memoir of a Quitter. So that is the book that I recommend everybody start the book club with. And what's really fun about that is we are starting to open up new book clubs with new books, but it's great to enter with my first book, Giving Up, the Memoir of a Quitter, because then you really get an understanding of what we're about here and what we're doing, and the conversation that we're hosting. And so if you've never done the book club, start with Coach Victoria in her book club, November 4th. Yes. And what's the time?
It's 6 o'clock Central Time.
6 Central. Okay, so November 4th at 6 Central, and it's for 6 weeks. This is a 6-week group coaching program, and it's 1-hour Zoom calls with the collective of people that join at that time. And I would love to encourage you to join Coach Victoria's group, because I will not be hosting another Giving Up book club probably until the new year. And when we do start, we'll be launching some new clubs with new books and everything. So this could very well be the last book club of the year. So if you have been holding off, this is perfect for you. And also, one other thing, if you happen to be someone that the holidays are tough or challenging or triggering or traumatic or just not your brightest time of the year, I think that I have had multiple book clubs during this season, and it is so valuable to have 1 hour a week of emotional, mental, spiritual support. And Vic is amazing at this conversation, amazing at this work. She's an amazing coach. And I imagine that the group that will be in there together is going to be wonderful as well. So I want to thank you starting, for trusting yourself and diving in, because it's not even 6 months since you declared it that it is so. And so that's really beautiful. So is there anything you'd love to share or make an invitation for our listeners?
Yeah, I just invite everyone to do some inner work and just figure out where you want to be in life, and just trust yourself and realize that you can do it, and get support, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's hiring a coach, therapy. There are so many resources, so many free options. Um, and just remember, you're never alone in this world. So always reach out when you're going through anything. And if you just want to live an amazing life, you can have it all. So, and you are so very loved. Like my heart, Abigail's heart, there's just so much love.
It's bursting. And
Yes.
you guys, this is just the start. I wanted to host this live to introduce you to Victoria. You better get used to hearing her name, because this is not the only program that she'll be hosting with Hearts Unleashed and with herself. She is just now launching her business. And as much as I love her helping out with Hearts Unleashed, she's going to be building her own coaching practice too. So just stay tuned. And if you have any questions, you can email hearts@heartsunleashed.com. We will answer, we will direct. If you want to say, I want to hang out with Coach Victoria, then please just put that in the subject line and we will get you all connected. So thank you for being here, Victoria. I want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge you for your faith, for your commitment, and for your courage, and for the light that you are. You are literally shrouded in light at this moment, and it's just so beautiful up there. It's so angelic, and that's how you occur to me. She had referenced hanging out in Hawaii, and it was the year that it was my first like Miss Independent solo trip, just booked a flight, didn't figure it out. And she messaged me, and we hung out in Hawaii. She was in the military serving on base at the time, and picked me up, and just we drove around. And it was that thing. It was the let's really dive in. How are you really doing? And I pretty much knew from that moment that our paths would be pretty parallel from then on.
Yes.
So I acknowledge you.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. And thank you, listeners. Thanks for tuning in. Share this, you guys. If you want to be in the book club, join us. It's on abigailgazda.com/shop. And if you know someone who has been on the fence about being in this book club, or again, someone for the times, for the season, it's a good time to have some support. Please forward this video. Please forward that tab on Abigail Gazda /shop and get signed up. Love you. Have a good day, everybody. Bye, Vic. Love you.
I love you too.